Spaghetti and meatballs is one of the most beloved comfort foods in the United States, combining tender pasta, flavorful tomato sauce, and juicy seasoned meatballs into one satisfying dish. While many people associate it with Italian cuisine, the version widely known today became especially popular in America through Italian immigrants who adapted their traditional recipes using ingredients that were more abundant in the United States. Over time, this hearty meal became a staple in homes, restaurants, and family gatherings across the country. Its rich flavor, simple ingredients, and comforting presentation make it a favorite for both everyday dinners and special occasions. The story of spaghetti and meatballs begins with Italian immigrants arriving in the United States in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. In Italy, pasta was commonly served with small amounts of meat or simple sauces, but meat was expensive and often used sparingly. When immigrants came to America, they discovered that meat was more affordable and widely available. This allowed them to create larger meatballs and combine them with pasta in a more generous way. The dish gradually evolved into the iconic meal that Americans love today, with large, juicy meatballs served on top of a plate of spaghetti covered in rich tomato sauce. One of the reasons spaghetti and meatballs is so popular is because it offers a perfect balance of flavors and textures. The spaghetti provides a soft and slightly chewy base, while the meatballs bring a savory, hearty taste. The tomato sauce adds richness, acidity, and sweetness that ties everything together. When topped with grated cheese and fresh herbs, the dish becomes even more flavorful and aromatic. The combination is comforting, filling, and satisfying, making it a favorite meal for families. The preparation of spaghetti and meatballs starts with making the meatballs. Traditionally, ground beef is used, although many recipes combine beef with ground pork or veal to create a more tender and flavorful texture. The meat is mixed with breadcrumbs, eggs, grated Parmesan cheese, garlic, salt, black pepper, and fresh herbs such as parsley. Some cooks also add a little milk to keep the meatballs soft and moist. The mixture is gently combined and shaped into round balls, usually about the size of a golf ball or slightly larger. After shaping the meatballs, they are typically browned in a skillet with olive oil. Browning the meatballs adds a delicious crust on the outside and helps lock in the juices. Some recipes cook the meatballs completely in the skillet, while others finish cooking them in the tomato sauce. Allowing the meatballs to simmer in the sauce helps them absorb the flavors and become even more tender. The tomato sauce is another key element of this dish. A classic sauce begins with olive oil, garlic, and sometimes onions sautéed in a pan until fragrant. Crushed tomatoes or tomato puree are then added, along with salt, pepper, and herbs such as basil and oregano. Some cooks include a pinch of sugar to balance the acidity of the tomatoes. The sauce is simmered slowly to allow the flavors to develop and deepen. When the meatballs are added to the sauce, they cook gently while releasing their juices, which enriches the sauce even more. While the sauce is simmering, the spaghetti is cooked separately in a large pot of salted boiling water. Cooking pasta in salted water is important because it enhances the flavor of the noodles. The spaghetti is cooked until it is al dente, which means it is tender but still slightly firm when bitten. Once cooked, the pasta is drained and sometimes tossed lightly with a bit of sauce to prevent it from sticking together. To serve the dish, the spaghetti is placed on a plate or bowl and topped generously with the meatballs and tomato sauce. Grated Parmesan cheese is sprinkled on top, and fresh basil or parsley may be added for extra flavor and color. The result is a vibrant and inviting plate of food that smells incredible and tastes even better. One of the most appealing things about spaghetti and meatballs is its versatility. Different cooks and regions have their own variations of the recipe. Some people prefer spicy sauces with red pepper flakes, while others like a sweeter tomato flavor. Some recipes bake the meatballs in the oven instead of frying them, which can make the dish slightly lighter. There are also versions made with turkey or chicken meatballs for those who want a leaner option. In American culture, spaghetti and meatballs is often associated with family dinners and comfort food. It is a dish that brings people together around the table. Many families have their own recipes that have been passed down from generation to generation. The aroma of tomato sauce simmering on the stove and meatballs cooking slowly can instantly make a house feel warm and welcoming. The dish is also popular in restaurants across the United States. Italian-American restaurants frequently feature spaghetti and meatballs as one of their signature meals. It is often served with garlic bread, salad, or roasted vegetables. Some restaurants create gourmet versions of the dish using handmade pasta, slow-cooked sauces, and specialty cheeses. Spaghetti and meatballs has also become a cultural icon in movies, television, and popular media. One of the most famous scenes featuring the dish appears in the classic animated film Lady and the Tramp, where the two characters share a plate of spaghetti and accidentally eat the same noodle. This charming moment helped make the dish even more recognizable and beloved around the world. Another reason for the dish's popularity is that it is relatively simple to prepare at home. The ingredients are easy to find in most grocery stores, and the cooking process is straightforward. Even beginner cooks can successfully make a delicious version of this meal with a little patience and attention to detail. Because the recipe is flexible, it allows people to experiment with flavors and ingredients. Nutrition is another aspect to consider. While spaghetti and meatballs is a hearty dish, it can be balanced with the addition of vegetables and portion control. Using whole wheat pasta, lean meats, or adding vegetables like spinach, mushrooms, or zucchini to the sauce can make the dish healthier while still maintaining its rich flavor. Many people enjoy preparing this meal for gatherings, holidays, or special dinners. Large batches of sauce and meatballs can be made ahead of time and reheated, which makes it convenient for serving guests. In fact, some cooks believe the sauce tastes even better the next day because the flavors have had more time to blend together. Spaghetti and meatballs also represents the creativity of immigrant cuisine in America. It shows how traditional recipes can evolve and adapt to new environments while still preserving their cultural roots. The dish combines Italian cooking traditions with American abundance, resulting in something unique and widely loved. Today, spaghetti and meatballs remains one of the most recognizable pasta dishes in the world. It is served in homes, diners, and upscale restaurants alike. From a simple homemade meal to a restaurant specialty, it continues to bring comfort and satisfaction to people of all ages. The appeal of this dish lies not only in its taste, but also in the memories it creates. For many people, a plate of spaghetti and meatballs reminds them of childhood dinners, family gatherings, and shared meals with loved ones. Food has a powerful way of connecting people, and this classic dish is a perfect example of that connection. In the end, spaghetti and meatballs is more than just a pasta dish. It is a symbol of tradition, adaptation, and comfort. With its savory meatballs, rich tomato sauce, and perfectly cooked spaghetti, it remains a timeless favorite that continues to delight food lovers everywhere. Whether enjoyed in a cozy kitchen at home or served in a busy restaurant, this dish has earned its place as one of the most cherished meals in American cuisine.